So, this video is not going to be probably as upbeat. I'm going to talk about accommodations because I posted on, some ADHD websites or pages, and some of you are probably going to watch this on some pages on Facebook. But I want to talk about accommodations because there is a very, very significant problem with ADHD accommodations. Okay? And I don't know why. I don't know why there is, but it's pretty egregious, actually. So when you're in school, and actually my psychiatrist said this to me, she said, yeah, I give accommodations for school all the time. I don't really do it for work, which I thought was interesting. But the problem is in school, there's mitigators like teachers and administrators to mitigate, what goes on. So in the work environment or in social environment, community environment, there's no mitigators. So the question becomes, does that mean that you don't have any ADHD accommodations in society? You only have them when you're in school? Because that's pretty much what I've found. This is my experience, and I'm gonna just tell you how it is. Got diagnosed in 2019. Worked for the government. Worked for Charlotte County government in Florida. And got diagnosed. I was having some conflict with administrators and stuff. And I came to realize that the conflict wasn't anything that I was doing at work. It was actually just the fact that they hated my guts. And they didn't like the fact that I said the truth. And they didn't like the fact that I pointed things out. And they didn't like the fact that I called them out. But the problem was, why did I have to call them out? Why did I have to do that? Well, because they were violating my rights. I mean, it was like false accusations, just one right after another. It was crazy. And I even claimed my disability. I literally wrote a 384-page discrimination complaint against the HR director of Charlotte County government, who's still employed, by the way, and has never been reprimanded. Because nobody cares. Cited it all the way to the Constitution. And within 6 days, I was put on administrative leave pending a fit for duty exam that turned out to be illegal because they didn't have me on FMLA, and FMLA just ruled in their investigation. I was accused. Then they circumvented my doctors and sent me to another doctor that they paid 3 times the normal amount for a fit for duty exam and got me diagnosed with paranoid personality disorder. That is exactly what happened. Because I claimed the conflict in my job was due to my ADHD, and I was asking for accommodations. I was asking them. My accommodations say, if I ask you questions or I become confused, I just need you to answer the questions. That's it. So they send me to this guy they paid 3 times the amount for, and not only that, Charlotte County's HR director, who was supposed to be on administrative leave, was actually the person who orchestrated the money to pay this doctor and circumvent 2 of my doctors. 2, not 1, 2. A psychologist and a psychiatrist. Circumvented both of them to send me to a doctor that they hired and get me diagnosed with this paranoid personality disorder. Well, the interesting part was, even in the report that this guy diagnosed me with, my doctor specifically said, absolutely not. No, that is not. He didn't even bother talking to my psychiatrist. He actually just didn't even bother. He just made the diagnosis on his own. So at that point, I had been with my psychologist for 3.5 years, who was appointed by EAP when all the conflict started in the department. I had been with my psychiatrist for over a year, or with their office for over a year. And this guy in 3 hours diagnoses me with paranoid personality disorder. Me, the guy that did convoy security in Iraq and used to get shot at for a living, has paranoid personality disorder. I'm not afraid of anything, and I'm paranoid. But the reality was, they had to come up with something else to shift away from the fact that they had egregiously ignored, and I'm talking ignored. I don't know how many times I said it. I must have racked up 10,000 pages on these people. 19 people, right? 19 people I racked up, including elected officials, Charlotte County government, administrators, deputy chiefs, battalion chiefs, lieutenants, all participating, colluding, conspiring to deprive me of my civil rights because I decided to stand up for myself. That's what happened. That's literally exactly what happened. So when we talk about accommodations in the workplace, this is the government. This isn't even like MAPA restaurant, whatever, you know, and listen, I love restaurants. I love food. I'm well-nourished guy. So, this is the government literally violating civil rights and treating you punishment. This went on for 3 years, right? It was only in the last 9 months I figured out how to play the game. And then I took the game to them and they lost their minds. So, as far as I'm concerned, oh, by the way, and to add to that, I'm getting divorced probably because I really should be divorced. Also because my soon-to-be ex-wife just couldn't handle the pressure of everything they were doing. They were just, because it was just pure punishment. So I'm getting divorced. I walk into the first meeting with my soon-to-be ex-wife's attorney, and I'm asking for financial accounting, and my ex-wife's attorney ignores me, tells me it's not mine. I don't have any right to it, even though the law says I do under Florida Statute 61.075. So I invoke my ADA accommodations the way I'm supposed to, because she's lying, and I know she's lying, and it makes me perseverate and be pissed that my stuff has been stolen. And she's lying right to my face as if I don't have any right to it. Ignored. I have served ADA documents to the court. I have served ADA documents to the judge. And civil rights violations, are you ready for this? In the state of Florida, they're criminal. That's a criminal act. I literally called Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, filed a complaint with 100 pages of documents showing that my civil rights have been violated, and Charlotte County Sheriff's Office has ignored the civil rights violations. And that's a crime. That's actually illegal. It's a crime. The judge, about a couple weeks ago, ruled to have my house sold out from under me without a proper accounting after I invoked my ADA accommodations, and they were ignored by the judge. So our society, from what my perspective is about ADA accommodations, they don't exist. There are no accommodations, which means that you have no right to your civil rights. The police are going to ignore it, and they are ignoring it. The judges ignore it. They don't care. Lawyers, well, okay. And the government ignores it. So the only place that I have found where even accommodations exist in any way has been in schools. And it's the school that has to do it, but in reality, the other people in the school don't have to do it unless you invoke it. So that is my understanding of accommodations, at least at this point, and how they work. There is something egregiously wrong with depriving people of their civil rights, even after they tell you, provide you the documents. My ex-wife's attorney, I said it so loud for 6 months. She wrote me an email. I don't know how many times I said it. I sent her 5 separate documents. 5 separate documents, right? That had my accommodations on there. And 5 months later, she literally said to me, we have no proof that you even have a disability. That was her words. In writing, she wrote this in writing. We have no proof that you even have a disability. If they are going to ignore your disability, what rights do you really have? What are you supposed to do then? I can tell you what they did to me. The judge got angry with me, and the judge actually convinced the police to come to my house investigating me. That's what happened. Unfortunately, I have all my paperwork in order, and I know what game they're playing, so I was already ahead of the game. In fact, a couple days prior to that, I had told my girlfriend I'm probably going to get arrested because I figured they just issued an arrest warrant. But if they got smartened up and actually stopped that. But that's what they do. They retaliate against you. So they want you to get in line. This is a serious problem. And people's civil rights being crapped all over is a problem. And it's not right. And I don't know what I'm going to have to do, but I'm going to do whatever I can to hit the dominoes in front of me and fix it, because this is appalling and disgraceful to this nation. God bless you guys, and I guess that's just the way it is.